They could just go for it, or they could go for 4 purifies on their side. But
there you
it's
go.
probably gonna be a lot of purifies on the side here of Bren Esports. They are thinking about the Angela. Okay, so the thing about the Angela is they don't have a lot of burst on the side of Onic PH. So
yeah.
Go ahead.
So you don't think it's super necessary right now, because I feel like the Kimmy's gonna be safe either way, right? Especially with high loss on his side.
Then again, it doesn't really hurt to have insurance,
Yeah, I think that's what they're thinking right there.
Yeah.
So, as Butters predicted, the pretty solid front line here coming in from Onic PH. That's a FAMS, that's a Kufra, and that is a Jawhead. Good luck getting past that. But what's gonna happen here is Bren Esports gonna try to see if they can brute force their way in there with an Angela-powered Kimmy and the Lancelot on the sides. This should be very...
Invade sila. High invade sila. Pero... Oh!
Interesting setup, yeah. And I think that if Onic PH can just maintain distance and just prevent Kimmy and Hylos from diving in, I feel like this might be an Onic PH lineup, because I like this lineup more. It's more safe. There's a lot going on here, especially with the Lancelot being picked up. I don't think the funnel would be very good here for Bren Esports. So I'm going to have to give this to Onic PH.
That's exactly true. I would side here with Bren Esports as well. A lot of points came from Nomad there, and they're really true. The thing about Bren Esports here is Onic PH. He went for Onic PH, not Bren. He went for Onic PH.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go for Onic PH as well, because the thing about it is Bren Esports, I don't really like their idea of putting a lot of pressure on Carl TZ's back. They really like to give this pressure thing to Carl Z. So I'm gonna go for the simple lineup. Let's go Onic PH, game number 1.
All right. I think we'll all have to agree. Onic PH did draft pretty well here. It's more comfortable to use. They have been known to use all of these very, very well. So it's going to be an El Clasico here for Onic PH. On the other side, Bren might have a hard time here. Again, brute forcing through a pretty solid front line. We'll have to wait and see, though, if that will be the case as we head into the matchup. Ladies and gents, for the first matchup of the last day of MPL PH Season 5. Let's go to our casters and let's see if Leo and Seiya will have a different say about this.
And we are go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game 1 in this best of 3. It's the lower bracket final, and Onic PH is fighting the one-time champion Bren Esports for their slot once more in the grand finals for Season 4's Redemption arc. My name is Leo, joined here by Seiya, and I just gotta ask you real quick, Seiya, do you agree with our panel? Do you also give this game 1, based on the lineup, to Onic PH?
Yes, because it's a trap. Yes, I agree. Definitely that Kufra pick from Jay made it cleared. And you gave Dilar his time. So this is a very, very Onic draft for me. How about you, Leo?
I like that. I like that word. Very Onic. And yeah, as Onic as their lineup is, I mean, you gave them almost all the heroes that they're asking for. And you're giving them a play style that they're so used to now, especially after how they have shown us that they've grown. They have the stamina now. They have the discipline, especially after that 54-minute bout against SGD Omega in the eliminations game of yesterday's first series. So, you know what? I think we have a unanimous decision from across the board here in the English broadcast of the MPL. It's 5-0 for Onic PH. Can Bren Esports, can the Ducky-led squad prove us wrong? We'll see. Real quick, I have a story to share before this fight down bottom breaks out. Carl TZ gonna be a blasting Iaknu with a little bit, but it's not gonna be enough. Actually, this lineup here, up top though, few gonna go down real quick. Dilar, again, you mentioned how he just pays the price there. Interestingly enough, he just stood. Okay.
Yeah, do share the story first, though.
That was surprising.
Yeah, do share the story.
All right, leading up to the playoffs, there was some downtime after the regular season, and nice jump by Jay, knocking Coco out. Ducky was actually the one who showed us the magic of the Hylos and Kimmy lineup. And right here, we expected them to invade, but instead, they went to save their own purple buff, right? So this is very Bren as well. A lot of people will discount what this lineup brings, especially with this interesting Carl TZ funnel pick on the Lancelot, but real quick, look at the jungle now. They're gonna make Venus pay. Drop in the carpet underneath Jay. Down goes the Queen. Carl TZ gets the kill. Lancelot just styling on us, evening the odds. 2-2. Will Iyak be next? Nice ejector on 2-1, and down goes Carl TZ, and they're trading left and right. Iyak gonna be traded for down there as well. Jay just barely keeping himself in this underneath the turret. Wow, this is explosive, Seiya. 6 kills already across the board, 3 minutes in. This is just both teams just going at it.
And of course, they are really in a very good position to go for that turtle take, but it will be in the hands of Wise right there on the side of Onic PH. But they will be having a pickoff for themselves. So this is what we panelists and casters have been saying, that if you give so much to Onic PH, this could really go for a potential snowball. And like you mentioned earlier, for the early phases of the game, we kind of expected an early game invade, but I think there are some precautionary measures that Bren had to consider, hence the reason why they kind of went for the usual laning route.
This is also a revolutionary take on what we know as the funnel meta, right? The 1-3-1. It looks like now they've slowly reverted back into where the mid pushes hard with Rebo on the Kimmy. But real quick, there's a fight. Gonna blow up down bottom. It's a death bush for Lasty. Jay gonna be traded for. Angela gonna be coming in. Carl TZ supported by Rebo, and they're gonna disengage. Just a 1-for-1. Tank for tank. Jay for Lasty.
Yes, but I think in terms of the positioning there for the side of Bren, I think Hylos or Lasty was just wanting to go to the brushes to provide vision, but instead finds himself in a position wherein there are Onic PH players in the vicinity. So now looking into the conditions, so far momentum-wise, it's still in the hands of Onic. Bren Esports are getting skirmishes fights and pickoffs here and there, but it's still really not, it's just good to compensate or to be in par, to say the least, into what Onic PH's advantages are. And speaking of advantages, look at that beautiful knock-up there, and Export will be using his Fire Pressure. The Glorious Panther will be also aided for his escape, but unfortunately the Kofra will have this takedown.
No, the good doctor gets knocked out there. Bad news for Jay, he had to spend his flicker, but I think it was worth it, especially if you're going to be taking down a Kimmy. And because of that, they're leaving Iyaknu free to roam and just farm up, push down bottom. Wow, but look at that. Smoke and mirrors now as the carry Wise takes down the turtle, and it looks like Coco's next in the hit list. Got that orange buff, gonna be able to kill him. Down he goes. Wise scores another, and that's 3 now for the bounty hunter wielding carry. Oh my god, 4,000 about ahead in gold. And you know what? We talked about it yesterday. In the funnel meta, gold leads across the board, like looking at the at least the mass that both teams have collected. It's not as evident, especially in the funnel meta, because it's not about what the money is, it's how you put it. But now few gonna be jumped on, gonna be able to run away. But no, Iyaknu says, you're done for, son. And now they're going to convert into this turret, but not if Rebo has anything to say about it. Just a sliver of health on that turret, and they're gonna have to wait. But down mid, here we go. Carl TZ gonna use a Phantom Execution, missed out on a half health carry. Wise gonna have to back out. Here's Delar and Jay gonna finish off the Lancelot, and Coco once more gonna be next on the docket. But he's gonna have to be able to survive. Keep yourself safe, son, as Iyaknu pushes down bottom. Hardest working man in this game so far, as he just focuses on his lane, making sure that pressure is coming in to Bren Esports' side of the map.
Yep, and did you see the beautiful sidestepping of the carry back there with against the ult of Lancelot? Because if ever so that it was a hit, that could have been a pickoff for the Lancelot or Carl Tizzy. But that was, really good reflexes coming from Wise. And we are now seeing some mispositionings here and there for the side of Bren Esports, which is making them, placing themselves rather in a rather pinchy area. And speaking of pinchy area, look at that knock up for that Cooper right there, and Thomas will be having that cleanup. This is not yet over. Wise really confident in trying to engage right there, but you know what? Safety measures first, and they will be, just hovering themselves up to really push the minions here on the top side, really applying pressure with the pushes.
Man, Jay here, the one-time champion from Season 3 under Archangel, just really showing us exactly why he is one of the best tanks and supports in the league today. He's been going ham, just going roughshod on Bren Esports so far with a 3-1-4 Kufra, and now the ball going to be able to pin down someone. Flicker already spent right there. Actually, it was a Purify on Rebo, so he can't just be willy-nilly right there. But look at this now. Coco using the last Insanity just to clear minion waves. He's going to back out. Jay misses with the jump, and they're going to have to disengage here. Not a good look for either team to overextend.
Not really, because to Onic, all they have to do is just really be patient here. They don't need to rush in terms of pushing, because they have all the resources that they could get. They have the map control, and this also means that it limits the resources that Bren can actually take on their side. So winning conditions for Bren, they have to target unfortunately Wise here, or at least not get knocked up by Jay right here, because if you noticed, Leo, that every time that the Kufra enters in, a team fight follows through, because it was really on point, and they are in a good position to do it.
Yep, that's prime team communications. Sometimes one of the vulnerabilities, or you would say common errors in a tank, even in the best of the best, they would sometimes go in and miss out on certain cues, right? Like, oh, I got the perfect Tyrant Revenge into the Rage. Why didn't you do anything? That's because they're not talking. But so far, so good here for Onic in the 10 minutes about that they've been playing this game. Kufra on Jay has been just on point. Now look at this. They're threatening the steal onto the orange buff. I'm not sure. Okay, there you go. Carl Tizzy was able to secure it. He's not that hungry, but I'm pretty sure he could be wishing he could do better. All right, so we're 25 seconds away from the Lord here. And so yeah, I just got to point out here, the pushing lineup on Kimmy, the pushing lineup on Bren Esports with the Kimmy, not a single lane taken down, not a single turret.
Unfortunately, because from an Onic PH perspective, both Rebo or actually if you can be one of your preferred targets right here, considering number one, Kimmy is one of the core damagers. You really want to deny that damage as early as possible. And number two, they are the squishier targets for Bren Esports. I mean, for Onic PH against Bren Esports. So I think that is one of their go-tos here in terms of really in terms of priority.
Yeah, look at this now. Onic PH just extra rude, as I'd like to call it, as they take that purple buff, apply some pressure down bottom and mid, and then just take the Lord so easily. 10 minutes, 30 seconds in. This Lord, I believe, is going to march down bottom. There you go. Let's see now. They're just going to start collapsing on all lanes. They'll just see where they can find an opportunity to penetrate. I think that's the first step here for Onic PH, to get that much closer to securing game one.
And the amount of space given to Wise is pretty evident right now. So all he needs to do really for this game to be secured inside of Onic PH is to just place himself in an angle or in a position wherein he is not the one to become the target. And hence for Bren Esports, okay, the Lord is coming through their turf. So the best thing that they have to do about it is to really, defeat or destroy the Lord here. But again, looking here, looks like there will be a pickoff coming through. We are now seeing the depletion of health coming from Carl Tizzy and forces him to back away. Oh, sorry, that was Coco. But then they transition easily by destroying the bottom onto the mid and then go to the top. Not really, forcing themselves so quickly to get into that team fight. Okay, oh my Venus is forced to use the flicker, but the carry will go for that cleanup. It isn't just getting more beautiful as the Towns will be down the Angela. And I think, Leo, this is it. The game number one might be going to Bren Esports, and look at that beautiful dominance